Awesome Wrestling Podcast. I'm Frankie.
I'm Chris.
And we are
Awesome
Wrestling. And it is episode 7 of the Awesome Wrestling Podcast.
I can't believe we got 7 of these already.
Yeah, these weeks are flying by.
Plus 2 preview videos.
Yeah, prediction videos.
Yeah. Man.
3, right?
3.
Yeah, 3.
Jeez.
Or no, 2. I don't know.
2.
Whatever.
Time flies.
Yes. So this week was the week of the Raw Netflix premiere. So obviously we're going to be talking about that. That's going to be most of our time what we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
Because
it was a long show and a lot happened.
A lot happened on that show. And then we're going to jump into SmackDown, which was also very good.
Another long show.
Then, yes.
6 hours of Raw and SmackDown this week.
And probably, are they going to change it? They're probably not going to change it for another 3 years or so.
I don't know.
Probably a bunch of years, but we'll get used to it eventually.
Yeah.
And then we're going to jump into the arcade segment like we always do. We got a new game today. I'm not sure what it's going to be, but we'll see.
Sit through the video to find out.
And then we're going to jump into another round of trivia. I'm going to get more questions.
Frankie's going to try to redeem himself from last week.
I didn't get all of them right last week.
Nope.
Hopefully I get them all right this week.
Yeah.
And then we'll move on to our top 3 moments of the week. So, guys, I say we jump right into the Raw Netflix premiere. All right, so we're going to start off first with the reviewing the Raw Netflix premiere episode of Raw. And so we're just going to go through it like we always do.
That's it.
We're just going to send it over to Chris.
Well, it started off with The Rock coming. Actually, it started off with Triple H coming out.
Yeah, well, first they had an amazing, really cool intro.
Yeah.
And they had, whatever, they had, I don't know what you call it, but it was over the ring.
It was like a big curtain.
Yeah, they had
we thought they were gonna reveal an awesome new ring, a new concept or design.
No, but it was cool. So they had it was like a projector, and they showed it for everybody in the arena.
And then the curtain came down. It was just Triple H standing in the ring.
And that was up before the show, so we don't know how long he must have been standing there.
Probably had lunch.
Yeah, he probably had lunch in there. Yeah, they probably put him in right before they opened the gates for the show.
Oh, I'm sure they snuck him in there.
Yeah.
They got their ways.
Yeah. So but that's kind of Sting. He was under the thing.
And all his face paint.
Yeah, because he was sweating in that. Yeah, so, very cool opening. We said, welcome to the Raw Netflix era. So that's very cool. And then we have just lights are out, nothing's going on, and we hear electricity. It was giving me WrestleMania 40 vibes from when the man who came out came out and had the electricity going throughout the arena. If you smell what The Rock
the final boss
cooking, the final boss. And the final boss is back. He came out and he didn't talk about that much. I mean, he just came out. He basically said, finally, all of a sudden, The Rock has come back. And he seems...
I didn't like it. I want Final Boss Hollywood Rock, heel Rock.
Like I was about to say.
Trashing the crowd.
He came back as a face.
And
he was the final boss, but a face.
And I don't know if you were going to say it, but Cody Rhodes was just hanging out in the crowd. I mean, the guy, beat him to a bloody pulp. Called out his mom. Pinned him on night 1 of WrestleMania.
Made his life a living hell.
And there's Cody. Hey, Rock.
They shook each other's hand.
Hey, how you doing, man?
I know we're going to talk about it in a little bit, but on SmackDown, Kevin was like, this man was beating you down for a month.
Kevin feels how we all feel.
Yes, Kevin is right. But The Rock came out. I went nuts because obviously when The Rock comes out, everybody always goes nuts. So Big Pop, and he just kind of talked. He just did his whole face shtick.
Yeah.
Finally, The Rock has come back to Monday Night Raw. All that stuff. So that all happened, and then so we basically just welcomed everybody to Monday Night Raw. And we have a new commentary team, as we knew, which is Pat McAfee and Michael Cole, which they announced it at the Raw kickoff thing that they had in mid-December. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think obviously one of the best commentary teams that we've had in a very long time, maybe in the entire decade.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The only one I could think of is Jerry Lawler and Jim Ross.
Oh, yeah.
The old school Attitude Era.
Yeah, that's probably the greatest commentary team.
Yeah.
But you also got, Vince and Jerry Lawler.
Vince and Gorilla. Gorilla
and Bobby.
Yeah.
Did Gorilla and Vince ever commentate?
Yeah. And
back then.
after Bobby left,
Mm-hmm.
it was Vince and Gorilla. It was Survivor Series '94 because
Mm-hmm.
they both wore those weird looking cowboy hats and.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I'll tell you, an underrated commentary team. I don't think you even know they were a commentary team.
Who?
Jim Ross and Paul Heyman.
Oh no, I knew they were a commentary
WrestleMania
team.
17.
Yes,
that
they-
whole time period.
They were I love that commentary team.
I
knew
think
they
it was
were a
like close
commentary
for like the whole summer. They
Yeah.
did it like throughout 01.
I knew
was really
WrestleMania
good.
17 they were.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So-
one of the main reasons why it was so good. A commentary team can really make a show.
It really does.
Because like the Attitude Era, like
Yeah.
Jim Ross and Jerry
And
Lawler.
yeah, like without them on like Jim Ross's call at the Hell in a Cell.
Yeah,
with
like
Mankind and
literally they
Undertaker.
make the best moments,
Yeah.
and like the casket's on fire.
Yeah,
You know,
so yeah, that
like
all
all
that
that stuff.
So we move on to the first match of the night,
Mhm.
which was Roman Reigns versus Solo in a tribal combat.
Yeah, at first I thought it was a Bloodline Rules match, but
But-
then I remembered, wait, Tribal Combat. That was the match that Jay and Roman had at SummerSlam 23. Very good match. It was basically a Bloodline Rules match.
It was a nice
'Cause-
hardcore match.
Yeah.
Like you couldn't really start off Netflix with like a technical match.
Yeah, like
'Cause
how Seth and Punk was.
It would just be kind of boring. You got to kind of build to that. You got to have
Yeah.
like variation of different matches.
Mhm.
So this starting off the show was perfect because
Mhm.
they said, I think it was like almost over 5 million people watched Raw.
Really?
So, and a lot of them were at 8 o'clock when it started.
Mhm.
So, like, to start off to see Roman and Solo, like, putting each other through tables, hitting each other with chairs, like,
Yeah.
set the tone
Mhm.
for, like, the casual viewer who never watched Raw and just happened to be scrolling Netflix and saw it. So,
Yeah.
I think they did a good job of that.
Yeah, very good job. Yeah, like you basically just said everything I was gonna say. Just very chaotic match, and
Yeah.
it felt like a Bloodline Rules match because like everybody got involved.
Yeah, Jacob came out.
Yeah, Tama Tonga and Jacob came out. Jacob did his funky little dance that he does. I love it.
Hit the moonsault.
Yeah.
Established
Jacob did-
himself on Netflix is what he really did.
Yeah, Jacob and Tama Tonga did all their stuff. I love you so. Yeah. And then Jimmy and Sammy came out. Jay did not because they're like he's not a part of the
No,
Bloodline anymore.
he said he would help him out at War Games,
And then he was
then
done.
he was going back to being just Miu's.
Yeah, so he's
So.
just so I like that. So I guess I really don't, but
I like that. Like if they need him, he'll come and help.
Yeah.
But he's on his own if it's like just Jacob and Tama
Mhm.
Tonga every week, which it is.
Yeah, so Sammy, which they've like like the new switching brands thing. Sammy's gonna
Yeah,
go
I
to
don't-
SmackDown.
I don't know
'cause
who's on who anymore.
they've
What show?
been building that up for.
I feel like they should just have everybody on every show. Just
I don't like that. I like brand specific.
I do too, but I can't follow the confusion when like Drew was on
Yeah.
Raw, now he's on SmackDown.
Oh yeah, he came out on
Yeah.
SmackDown with Cody.
Yeah, Braun was on Raw, now he's on
On
SmackDown.
SmackDown.
Like, I don't know.
I don't know. It's all confusing.
It's all right though, cause like Sammy makes sense, cause
He's with the Bloodline.
I think like what you said, he's gonna fight Kevin at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So they got to get that going, and
Mhm.
he can't do that with him on Raw.
No.
So
Yeah.
Roman wins.
Yeah, Roman comes.
Roman
out.
wins
Roman
after
wins.
about 100 interferences.
Yeah. Oh, that's
And,
what I was saying. Jimmy and Sam came out,
yeah.
and then Kevin Owens came out, which I did not expect
Yeah.
at all.
Stunned Roman.
Yeah, he went for the ooh, and then he got hit with the stunner. That was a nasty
Yeah.
sell by Roman. Also,
was.
he always sells the stunner so well. 'Cause
Yeah.
obviously they
He
fought
sells everything.
about 1,000 times.
And his kickouts again. Roman's kickouts.
that was about to be it. And then
1,
Solo,
2.
no,
No.
Roman kicked out at 2.99 after Solo tried to pin him after the
Yeah.
stunner, and then obviously Cody Rhodes comes
Yeah,
out.
which I think they should have saved him for that instead of just showing him as like a guy in the crowd
Yeah.
to start the show.
Mhm.
It was just like, hey, Rock. And then like literally 20 minutes later, it's like, oh my God, it's Cody Rhodes.
Oh my God.
He's here. I can't believe it. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. They could have did a better job of that, but I understand. He was their champ. Other thing, I know we're getting off track. He didn't even have the title with him
Nope.
in that segment with The Rock.
Well, what was he gonna? Well, oh yeah,
Well,
he
he's the
could've
world
just,
champ. He's got to carry that thing everywhere he goes.
He could have just held it.
He
in the
literally was
crowd.
like an NXT guy that like waves to the crowd in between the commercials,
Yeah.
or like any of the other talent that just happened to be there,
Mhm. Yeah,
like Rey Mysterio.
Yeah, also
Yeah.
during the show, like I will just touch on it real quick. There were like a bunch of wrestlers, there's
Basically, everybody that wasn't on the card
yeah.
that they want featured on, that's still
Yeah.
featured on TV.
Yeah, like LA Knight,
Yeah.
Io Sky, Dakota
Yeah.
Kai, Lara Valkyria, which we thought their match was gonna be on,
Well, we predicted it for this week. So.
Yeah, so we'll see if we're right for for this upcoming or tonight for you guys.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was cool. Roman, we both had Roman win.
Yeah. So
we'll let you know the score at the end.
We move on. John Cena comes out.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was awesome. When John came out.
Actually, before that, here it is. This site gets me every time. They had the Pentagon trailer.
And it actually like said Penta under it. And since the site probably doesn't have it, Chad Gable, he went backstage and he said to Adam Pearce, it appears that I'm not good at like fighting luchadors. Very out of the blue. Like, what are you talking about? I mean, I know he was in a feud with the LWO.
Yeah.
But like still. So then Adam Pearce says, you know what? Next week I'll put you up against a brand new luchador.
Yeah, so it's gonna be Pentagon.
I wonder who it's gonna be.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be Penta.
Or what he said something like, I'm tired of fighting people in masks.
Yeah.
Because he's been fighting with the Wyatt Six.
Oh, and the Wyatt Six. Yeah.
So John Cena comes out. He just basically says he's going to join the Royal Rumble.
Yes.
And
very cool.
We'll see what happens with him.
Yeah, he basically also said like, I want to become 17-time world champ.
Yeah.
But it's highly doubtful. And he said maybe the only way I can win is if I win Money in the Bank, I win Elimination Chamber, I win a number one contenders match, and then Pat McAfee was like, he said, or,
and then he said, maybe I'll enter the Royal Rumble.
Or maybe I win the Royal Rumble.
So good for John. He kicks off his farewell tour with the Royal Rumble.
Cool gear, too.
Yeah.
It's like blue.
And we move on. Logan Paul says he is 100% a WWE superstar.
Yeah, so he's going to be full-time. That's pretty cool.
Logan Paul.
But we were told that he was going to have like a full like promo.
Yeah.
And he was just in the crowd. And they had like a video package for him. Like, what? That's false advertising right there.
And following that, we get the first title match of the night. Rhea Ripley versus Liv Morgan.
I think everybody knew who was going to win this match.
Yeah, they did a good job of it though, with like a couple false finishes, and Rhea Ripley takes it finally. We could finally stop talking about that feud.
Yes, it's done. If they do a rematch, I'm going to be so mad. You can do whatever you want in the Rumble. Obviously, Rhea's probably not going to be in the Rumble, but you can say, "Oh, these two had a harsh rivalry this past year."
Yeah,
you know, you could have like a little.
Let Liv do something with like Raquel or something. Like going after the women's tag titles like they used to. But
that's one thing.
We can't see that match again.
Yeah,
it was a good match, but that feud is. It's literally been almost a year, so.
But also now I gotta think, what's Liv gonna do at WrestleMania?
I know, that's what I'm thinking. Maybe she goes with Raquel, but
they kept her off last year.
Yeah, I guess we'll get to the tag team title, the women's tag title situation when we get to SmackDown.
So last week, just think about this. Last week before Raw Netflix, it was the two world champions were Liv and Tiffany. And guess what? They were both left off at WrestleMania 40.
Yeah.
And then that shocked me so much. Like, I don't understand why they weren't at WrestleMania, and now they're world champs.
And then following that, Undertaker comes out, rides around the ring, and then
that was awesome. That was so
poses with Rhea Ripley.
That was so like out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Rhea Ripley, a women's champion. Rhea Ripley's there, and then gong. I was like, what? Wait, hold up. I said, they're going to point to the WrestleMania sign. Taker versus WrestleMania.
I read something online that said, like, I understand it. Like, it makes sense. There's a legend and that. But they said it would be the same as if Trish Stratus came out and, like, was hanging out with Gunther after the match. Because it's like a legend and, like, the opposite, like, a male and a female.
Yeah.
And they really had no point at all.
But if you really think about Judgment Day, you know, they're like old dark characters.
I guess.
And then Undertaker.
I don't know.
I mean, if you're Rhea Ripley, that's really cool.
It's really cool, but I don't know. I feel you could have did something else with Undertaker.
Yeah.
Than that. But I guess they didn't have a lot of time. They had so much stuff that they had to book. So.
Yeah.
Following that, Travis Scott does his little concert, and then Jey Uso comes out with him.
That was so surprising. He didn't even do a concert. He just came out with.
I don't know.
Kind of did ad-libs for Jey Uso's theme.
Yeah.
That was it.
I think they had him booked for a full concert, but like we just said, time restraints.
Yeah, time.
I think Roman and Solo went over whatever their allotted time was.
I'm not gonna lie. I thought that match went perfectly timed.
I think it did too, but for the booking wise, to space everything else out, I'm sure. He always does this. The Rock probably went over.
Rock probably definitely went over.
The Rock don't care. He'll just come out. They'll say, "Rock, you have 10 minutes," and then like 20 minutes in, he'll finally do like the finally. But
because he just stands there for a solid 5 minutes.
Yeah, he soaks in the crowd.
Yeah.
Then he tries to talk. They say, "Thank you, Rock," or "We love you, Rock," and then he wastes all his promo time just.
Because that's all he got to do. It's The Rock. That's all he's got to do.
So next, like I said, we got Jey Uso and Drew.
This was the toss-up match.
And Jey Uso won.
That's right.
So
I won. And if you guys don't know what we're talking about, we didn't do a prediction video.
It was in the last video.
Yes, the last podcast episode we did our predictions. So
yeah.
I was winning 3-0 there, or no, 3-2.
Yeah, 3-2.
So we'll see, because we also had a toss-up for the main event.
We did.
So you guys will see
and then,
who won.
Following the Jey Uso match, it was just a lot of hype for Punk and Rollins.
Yes.
Oh,
and Gunther.
And we also forgot the poor guy, Hulk Hogan, got booed out of the building.
Oh my God, that was the most awkward.
That was I don't know, I felt bad for him. Because the guy just, he's what, in his 70s?
Yeah.
He thinks he's still Hulk Hogan of the 80s. He comes out and everybody's booing him. He rushed through his promo. Poor Jimmy Hart was raising the flag up and down.
Like a goofball in the back.
And they're just like, all right, and Netflix and Hulkamania are the best tag team ever, brother. And then,
because this is what was happening. So, like, Hogan came out. I thought he had a decent pop, like, when the, like...
He had a great pop when his Titantron and his music hit.
And then boom.
Yeah, I don't know.
They said, let me tell you something, bro.
Yeah, poor guy. Couldn't get nothing out, so yeah.
I was just standing there in the back like a goofball.
It's on the fans. You want to know why? Because Hulk Hogan and Jimmy Hart both got paid to be there. So, at the end of the day, Hulk Hogan don't care if you boo him or cheer him. He's getting paid.
Yep. And at the end of the day, what you gonna do when Hulk Hogan comes out at a Raw Netflix premiere and boos you?
And makes more money than you.
And makes more money than you.
You paid to be there. He got paid to be there with your money that you paid to be there. So yeah. So then we had Seth and Punk, big long video package.
Did they even have a video package?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't get that. Maybe on like different Netflixes.
I don't know. And then it was a great match.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
I liked Seth's gear that he wore.
Seth's gear was cool.
Yeah.
Punk took a nasty shot to the head on the GTS.
Oh yeah.
Like they showed the replay. Like
he did it like so. I don't know how to describe it.
Yeah.
He had it like he did it so realistic.
Yeah, and I think Punk did a wonderful job of selling it because he hit his knee pad. So obviously it's not like he hit like his elbow or like an exposed part that would actually hurt.
He did it the right way.
I'm sure Punk hit like the knee pad and it hurt a little bit, but he sold it like he got hit with like a steel chair.
Yeah, like that's because I know like the nickname goes around Fragile Phil, but he really sold.
No, he sold. That was a great match.
Yeah.
A lot of false finishes. Lots of. He stole the spot from when he fought Mox at All Out.
Oh yeah.
In 22.
Yeah, All Out.
Where he hit him with the elbow, and they were both on the ground, and then he picks him up from the ground and lifts him, hits him with a GTS.
Yeah. By the end of the match, they were like both like gassed.
Yeah. It was a great match. Great main event for the first Raw. And,
just nothing crazy, like no like surprises.
No swerves, no shocks.
Just a fight.
An actual solid fight.
Yeah.
Nobody interfered. It was just two guys who hated each other settling it in the ring, which it should be.
Yeah.
So
that
was
it. Also, we tied because he said CM Punk.
Yeah.
I said Seth Rollins, and like what we were saying, like Seth didn't turn heel or anything.
No.
Like I thought was gonna happen, but it's all good.
Great show.
So we tied. I still have not beaten Chris in the predictions. I need
yet.
to.
No.
Royal Rumble. I'm bringing my A game.
Yeah, let's see
I need
what
to
happens.
win for the Rumble, even though we have Saturday night's main event before that. But we'll get to that eventually. But Royal Rumble is the one I'm winning.
Yeah.
And I know I'm winning WrestleMania. That's all I'm gonna say.
We'll see.
That's all I gotta say.
So what do you rate it?
All right. That was a very good show. And out of 5, I don't think they missed anything.
Nothing. The only thing I didn't like was that Gunther didn't have a match and he's the champ.
He had like
Raw.
a hype package.
Which why are you hyping up your world champ? He should be fighting at Raw.
Yeah.
Since he's on Raw and is I don't know.
in my opinion, I don't know if this is a hot take. I don't think anything was bad on
No,
the show.
I don't either.
I think it gets a 5 out of 5.
Oh, you stole mine thing. 5 out of
We
5.
both give it a 5 out of 5. This is the first show where we've given it a 5 out of 5.
Because it had Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
We always say. The only thing was missing was Roman Reigns.
Yep.
Roman Reigns was there. Gets 5 out of 5.
It's 5 out of 5.
So that's
So,
Raw.
yeah. Very, very good show. We both give it a 5 out of 5. Let us know in the comments what you thought of the show. We really, really liked it. But now let's jump in to the Blue Brand SmackDown. Okay, SmackDown this week. I'll hand it over to you, Chris. What do we got this week?
It started out with a quick recap of Raw on Netflix, and then next thing you know, Paul Heyman's in the ring.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Cody comes out. Paul Heyman says Roman Reigns wants, since he's now the tribal chief again, he wants his title back.
And that he is officially entering the Royal Rumble
Yeah.
match. So we got 2 people in the Rumble already, John Cena, Roman Reigns.
Pretty style. They set the bar so high that
Yeah.
like when they announce, I don't know, like Chad Gable would be like, oh, cool.
Oh.
There's another guy out.
A stacked
Yeah.
the first 2 people, my God.
So then I
And-
guess they'll add like Punk and Rollins soon. Wow.
One thing that
That's
I want...
a Final Four.
Yeah.
Man.
One thing that I want them to do is what they did last year. They only announced like 12 people.
Yeah. Keep
And-
you on your toes.
Yeah, and because they upgraded in 2023, they announced 28 people.
Yeah.
They only had 2
Yeah.
surprises, Edge and Booker T. Those are the only 2 surprises. That I hate it. I
Yeah.
hate when they announce everybody. It makes me so mad.
Well,
So
you
last
weren't
year,
around in 2014 when they announced 29.
Oh,
And everybody thought
Oh
that
my
Daniel Bryan
God.
was going to be number 30. And then Rey Mysterio comes out and he got booed so bad that he left the company and went to like Lucha Underground for 2 years.
and you know who the surprise entrant was? JBL.
Yeah. So yeah, after that, Kevin comes out and we talked about it on the just before on the Raw part. Says, why were you in the crowd yucking it up with
Yeah.
The Rock when he put you through hell last year?
Yeah. That's exactly what he said. And we were like, yes, exactly.
Next thing you know,
Please.
Cody jumps over the barricade, fights with Kevin up the arena
Up the
steps.
steps.
Paul Heyman's in the ring by himself, and he turns around, and there's Jacob and Tommy Tonga
And
waiting
he's
there.
like, oh.
Not again. I'm not going through the announce table again.
He had deja vu.
And then I think it was Jimmy Uso comes out,
Yes, Jimmy came out.
and then Cody came back to like, was that then or was that?
No, wait, yeah, I know Jimmy came out, but
Yeah.
yes, and then Cody
yeah.
came back out.
Okay,
yes.
yeah, that was it. And then they fought him away,
Mhm.
and then we went to commercial break, come back, and then we're in for our first match: Chelsea Green versus Michin for the women's U.S. title.
This match was like, why do you? I mean, I get why you got a rematch. I mean, but there's no way Meacham was winning.
It was a return match.
Yeah,
So.
but there, I don't know. Obviously,
Well, I
they
guess-
had
Chelsea like didn't win cleanly yet,
yeah.
She,
Well,
like,
I mean,
Piper Niven.
technically
She
she
did.
did.
but like the interference from Piper Niven.
I mean, technically, Piper Niven didn't do anything. I mean,
Yeah.
she did. She didn't get to do anything. Meacham threw her off, and then
Yeah.
Piper Niven like landed right on
Yeah.
her face.
So
That nasty bump.
Chelsea Green wins again.
Yeah.
Obviously, you have to keep the title on her for a little bit of time, build her up as the U.S. champ.
Yeah. I mean, it was a pretty decent match, but nothing special at all.
After that, we go backstage where all the tag teams are arguing. It said earlier today,
Yeah.
all the tag teams were arguing with each
Yeah.
other,
Los Garza.
which led to
Pretty deadly.
yeah, our next match, which happened to go on for like I don't know, longer than it should have.
Yeah, it went on for a solid 15, almost 20
yeah,
minutes.
it was a good match. So I guess they're the Garzas now.
Los Garzas.
He's not Humberto Carrillo anymore.
No.
He's
that's-
just Berto.
Wait, is Garza his name?
I don't know.
I know their name is Los Garzas.
Yeah.
So
They call them Angel and Berto.
yeah, I know that, but
Against Pretty Deadly. They win, Los Garzas,
mhm.
with help from Santos
Yeah.
and Elektra.
always cheating, slimy little cheaters.
And it was during the match there was a spot where I guess Santos and Elektra were interfering and Kit Wilson started yelling for DIY to come out and save him.
Oh yeah, cause last week they
Yeah.
made an alliance, and then later on in the show, which they're definitely not gonna have it on there.
Yeah.
Pretty Deadly was like, where the heck were you guys at?
Yeah.
And the other were like, nah, it's okay. We were just chilling. We didn't want to get involved.
Yeah.
Because, they were out there. And then, like, backstage, Ciampa was like, we're nobody's, like, little pets. And then Johnny was like, come on, we can use this to our advantage.
Yeah.
And then he said, yes, boy. And he said, come on, guys, we're good. Yes, boy. And then they were like, yes, boy. It was really funny, though.
All right, so we move on. Shinsuke fights LA Knight for the U.S. title. It's actually a good match.
Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed this, but when LA Knight came out, Lillian Garcia announced him and said, LA Knight, yeah. And it didn't come off good at all, but hey, gotta give her credit for trying.
Yeah.
This actually was a good match. LA Knight didn't botch his top rope suplex spot.
Yes. And I don't know if you saw
They did
this,
botch
but yes.
a nice little
they botched
sequence there.
the whole sequence. So like Shinsuke like went for a strikeout and didn't really like, I don't know what it was, but they like no sold everything.
Yeah, I don't know.
And
That's
it
LA
was
Knight.
I get it, like one move, but an entire sequence they messed it up.
Yeah.
I don't know. And
So they're getting to the end, and then we didn't touch on it because of the site again. LA Knight threw Jacob Fatu out of the building earlier in the show.
Oh yeah.
And he said he didn't use his inside voice. Now he's outside. So LA Knight hits him with the BFT. He's about to pin him, and then Jacob and Tama come out and just absolutely destroy LA Knight.
And the security.
That poor guy. He
that
came
guy
out,
he said.
And they made it seem like he was like somebody important the way like the camera panned over to him.
He
he came into the screen and next thing you know, there he goes.
No, he came in and he was like, okay.
Yeah. Boom. So
he sold it good too.
That led to Jimmy and Cody coming back out and fighting, and then Jacob Fatu flew over the barricade and ripped a chair apart when he landed.
Yeah, that was insane.
And he called for a match later. For the main event would be Jimmy and Cody versus Jacob and Tama Tonga.
And they also said something. I don't know why, but Solo's, they're not the bloodline anymore with Solo.
No.
So what?
Yeah, I don't know. Solo's coming back next week, I think.
Yeah, they said that.
Did they say Raw or SmackDown?
No, next week on SmackDown.
Okay, yeah,
but
I didn't know.
They didn't say anything about that in like the contract when Solo said, he only said you have to acknowledge me.
Yeah.
And he didn't say the bloodline had to break up with him. So I guess Jacob and Tama Tonga.
It'll lead to something. They're not done.
But Jacob and Tama Tonga, I guess, are just going to be a tag team for a little bit. Maybe win the tag titles back. No. Actually, don't win the tag titles back.
Well, speaking of tag teams, the next match, Motor City Machine Guns beat A-Town Down Under, who I forgot was even in the company.
Yeah, and they said in that backstage promo that they might go to Raw.
Yeah.
Which they made a very, very weird point. They said that Adam Pearce knows how to control his backstage area.
Yeah.
Or, all the people on the roster. That is not true whatsoever.
No.
He can never control anything on Raw. But, whatever.
So, following that, we get a fatal four-way.
Mm-hmm.
It was, sorry, let me find it here. Naomi, Bianca, Nia, and Bailey.
Yeah, because Tiffany came out to have her, celebration, whatever. They did, a cool video package. I love when they do it. And I love watching, the people react. They do, a video package showing, all the streamers who reacted. Yeah. And then I saw, a lot of, people reacted to themselves. It's just so cool to see.
Yeah.
Kind of not us, but, our community being shown on...
Triple H,
trailer.
He watches. If you're watching this, thank you, Triple H. How you doing? How you doing, Paul?
Hey, Paul.
So Bailey wins that match.
Number one contenders, because then everybody just came out.
It was a big schmoz.
Yeah, and then she's going to fight. Next week she's fighting Tiffany. But I don't know. Obviously, Bailey's going to lose. I mean, at first when she turned on Io, but
it's a good first challenger for Tiffany to lay the foundation of her title reign.
But what are they going to do with Bailey next?
She's kind of moved into that veteran role where you're kind of just all right. You're I don't know. I'm trying to think of a good example of somebody who was over, won the title, and then they're just well, you're going to be the guy that puts
Dolph Ziggler.
Yes. Perfect example. He was over, he won the title. After the reign, it was all right, you're going to be the guy that used to be the champ. So when we push this guy, it looks better that he beats you than just,
And then you try to win, but then you just never kind of win.
Yeah.
Finn Balor also kind of like that.
Yeah. So next we get the main event. Jimmy and Cody fought Jacob and Tama Tonga. Jacob and Tama Tonga win after Kevin Owens comes out and him and Cody brawl again.
Yeah, this was a very good match though. I liked it. Obviously, like you said, Jacob and Tama Tonga won. A
lot of Jacob and Tama Tonga on the show.
Well, just a lot of that segment.
I feel like they're trying to feel out a 3-hour SmackDown now.
Yeah.
And they're kind of booking it like they used to book Raw, where like something happens in the beginning, and then that leads to something happening.
Stone Cold and Vince would like start off the show, and then in the middle
of the show, it's like an update, and then the main event is at the end. So I mean, I don't mind it at all. It was a decent show for what it was worth. It was hard to follow that Netflix Raw.
Yeah.
And I think that's why they kind of left some of the good stuff off.
Yeah, because they saved it for Raw.
Yeah. And
yeah, so you can go first with your rating.
Oh, Roman wasn't there.
Oh yeah, SmackDown.
I'm giving it a 3.5 out of 5. I think it's gonna take some getting used to 3 hours SmackDown. I'm still trying. You might be too trying to adjust to the flow.
I kind of already adjusted to the flow.
Yeah,
I'm just kind of
still taking me a little bit of time.
It's something new, and like even it was so weird because when it was like 9 o'clock. And I was like, oh, they only got like an hour left.
I know. I've been doing that.
And then I saw it was like 9:58, and I was like, they're not even close.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh wait, it's
got a whole other hour to fill.
No. I was excited for it. And I was like, man, now it's gonna end. But I was like, oh no, wait, I got another hour. I don't know, like, because at first I was like, oh my god, another hour of wrestling. But now I'm like, I actually kind of like it.
Can never have enough hours of wrestling.
Yeah. Now you actually see it.
Yeah.
It's actually more fun.
So I give it a 3.5 out of 5. What are you giving it?
I'm not gonna lie. I really, really like this episode of SmackDown. I think I'm giving it a 4 out of 5. It was very, very good in my opinion. Nowhere near as good as Raw.
Yeah.
But I still think it was a very, very good show. So I'm giving it a 4 out of 5. That is my rating. But guys, let us know in the comments what you thought about SmackDown. But I say we go to the arcade and see which game we're gonna play. And you know what? I think I know which game we're going to play, but we'll go show them. Let's go. Alright, guys, it's now time for the arcade segment of the podcast, and the game that we will be showcasing to you today is WWF Super WrestleMania, which came out in 1992. Really cool graphic right there. But skip. So, it has one player versus computer, and then 2 players there. But we're just going to see the roster like we always do. One-on-one, we just look at. So you have one-on-one, tag team, Survivor Series, and WWF Championship. Really cool. So we'll go to one-on-one. Let's just do easy, and let's just look at the roster. So Ultimate Warrior, Hulk Hogan, British Bulldog, Shawn Michaels, Randy Savage. Let's see. Is that it? I think that's it. Not a very limited roster unless you have to press something. Oh, you do. Sorry. Papa Shango, IRS, and I think they just pop up randomly. So, yeah, guys, we're just gonna choose one guy, and then we're gonna go into a match here. We got Howard Finkel. Oh, that's really cool. It has like a speech bubble there. So IRS, and then we have the commentators on the side too. I think that's awesome. They got Macho Man, and then they got Gorilla and Bobby down there, so that's fairly cool. But yeah, guys, I think I'm going to be playing this a little bit, but now back to the studio. All right, guys, it's time to jump into one of my favorite segments of the podcast. It's time for Trivia. And obviously, I get asked the questions. And since we're a couple weeks away, obviously we're not like the week of, but...
It's January, we're close enough.
We are close enough to the Royal Rumble, so that's today's topic today. I'm ready, so you can give me the first question.
All right, this week in trivia, it is with the Royal Rumble, but there's a certain theme to it.
Oh,
and you'll see what I mean when I ask you this question in about 3 seconds.
Okay.
All right, who were number 1 and 2 in the 2024 Royal Rumble?
Okay, all right, I got it. Okay, so by the way, guys, Royal Rumble is my favorite pay-per-view, so I should be able to get this. So number 1, number 2 were I'll tell you. Number 1 was Jey Uso, and number 2 was Jimmy Uso. No yeet.
Correct.
Yeah.
Now these next 2, you don't have to tell me like who was 1 and 2. You just need to tell me the first 2 guys.
Can I try?
Oh, you can try. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Next question. Who were number 1 and 2 in the 1989 Royal Rumble?
Oh. Okay. I'm pretty sure number 1. Do you even know?
Yes, I do.
Oh God. Okay, I know it was Axe and Smash.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure number 1 was Smash and number 1 was number 2 was Axe.
Yep.
Yes, sir. I'm redeeming myself.
And number 3.
Final question.
This is a little hard. Actually,
right.
I don't know if it will be for you.
No, for me, probably not.
Who were number 1 and 2 in the 1995 Royal Rumble?
That's easy.
See if you can
Come
get it.
on. Obviously, Shawn Michaels and British Bulldog. Obviously, Shawn Michaels is
He
number
gets
1.
check, check, check. He's 3 for 3 this week.
Yes.
Hey,
That was the year that
Nice.
Shawn Michaels won.
he did.
From number 1, obviously.
And who did he eliminate last?
British Bulldog. They made it all the way to the end.
Yep.
And one of my favorite, one of the most iconic like endings to a Royal Rumble match. The way, he hits him off the ropes.
Yeah.
Though I just love the way they sell it.
And he hangs and he's trying to
Yeah,
get
he
the...
tries to I
And
just
then
love
he comes back in. British Bulldog thought he won.
it.
His music didn't hit.
Yeah, it did.
Did it hit?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. God, I haven't watched that in a while.
I haven't watched it in
His
a while.
music
but
hits. He's on the top, and then Shawn dumps him over.
the music hit, but the bell didn't ring. Though.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
I knew we were missing something.
Mm.
So
Imagine watching him like, the British Bulldog just won the Royal
British
Rumble.
Bulldogs punched his ticket to fight Diesel
So,
at the Royal Rumble.
at WrestleMania.
Yeah, WrestleMania. So that's it.
And
So
that means that who did Bulldog fight at WrestleMania 11?
him and Lex fought the Blue Brothers.
So it would have been Shawn and
Lex.
versus the Blue Brothers.
Yep. That would have been something.
Yeah. Yeah, 3 for 3. That was easy peasy, nacho cheesy right there. But now let's move on to our top 3 moments of the week. Okay, guys, we're now moving on to our top 3 moments of the week. Top 3. And, so we're just going to give you our top 3 moments of the week from this week of wrestling. And one more thing, I'm sorry, I forgot to mention this earlier. NXT had The Rock come out too.
Yeah.
When we were talking about The Rock, I forgot to mention it. I just came to me
Yeah,
right now.
and he cut another 20-minute promo that went over too.
No, it almost, it was so, cause he
was cussing a lot too.
Yeah, like they had like bleeps all over the place.
Yeah.
And he was like, I don't care, we're gonna, And
I don't give a beep. I'm The Rock, and I can do whatever the beep I want. So.
Yeah, so, and then he also, it was 10 o'clock, and he said, if you smell what The Rock is cooking, he said it, fast.
As,
too.
the credits were rolling.
And
so.
Obafemi and Julia are the new NXT champions, so
Good
I
for
don't
them.
know, that might be in my top 3, but I'm going to send it over to you, Chris, first. What are your top 3 moments of the week?
Well, I went a little, I guess, unorthodox on my top 3, meaning there wasn't, one match. It was just certain things. So my number 3 is just Kevin Owens being awesome this week. His promos, his brawling. Really looking forward to that ladder match. I know he has zero chance of winning, but...
Hey, you never know. Anything can happen in wrestling.
So that brings me to number 2, which is Jacob Fatu. I love him. He's awesome. A man at that size should not be able to do a triple jump moonsault and land it like he's like Rey Mysterio, like a cruiserweight. So Jacob gets my number 2. My number 1 is just Raw on Netflix. The whole thing.
Yeah.
I told Frankie I hadn't been that excited for a Raw in a long, long time.
Same. It just had a pay-per-view vibe to it.
And I know it's a shame that we're going to be let down because not every week is going to be like that.
I know.
But for just shaking it up, just to get you kicked off into the WrestleMania season, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
I liked it. So the whole Raw on Netflix gets my number 1 this week.
All right. Now my top 3. I was gonna give something to SmackDown, but I mean Raw was just too good this week.
It was.
Come on, let's be honest. Raw was just amazingly good this week. So for my number 3, I'm gonna give it to the entire. I'm gonna switch my number 2 and number 3. I'm gonna give number 3 to John Cena announcing that he's gonna be in the Royal Rumble because obviously John Cena, his whole retirement tour thing. I don't know if he's gonna win the Rumble, but I think it's going to be similar to the Shawn Michaels WrestleMania.
Yeah, with Undertaker.
What year is that? WrestleMania 27?
26.
Yeah, 26. Where, he
2010.
almost won the Rumble, and then he got so close, but then he lost. And then, then John Cena, think of it, John Cena's the one who eliminated him. So yeah, I feel like it'll be something like that where John Cena, he almost wins the Rumble.
Yeah.
I think he'll definitely be in the final 3, and then he's just about to win, and then he loses, and then he's so disappointed. Then he tries to win the Elimination Chamber, then he wins, then he loses that, and then at WrestleMania, I think he finally wins, the world title, or something. So John Cena announcing Rumble. That is my number 3. My number 2 is just the Bloodline Rules match. I think it was, just hype.
Awesome.
Having me on the edge of my seat. I just love, all the interferences and stuff. Very cool. And then number 1 is just The Rock the whole entire week. Because, from coming out at, in the beginning of the show to having...
Oh, he crowned Roman with the
I was just about to say,
yeah.
To crowning Roman, we forgot to mention that, but he crowned...
Stupid sight.
He crowned Roman with the Wolf. Oh, one more thing we forgot to mention that Stupid Sight didn't have. 2K25 is coming out. They had like a promo where it had the logo on the door. And so 2K25, obviously you guys know we're big 2K guys.
We are.
So maybe when the new game comes out, maybe there will be some 2K25 content coming out. Maybe that'll be fun. But yeah, so like there's gonna be like a trailer coming out on the 27th. But yeah, so and then putting the necklace around Roman, and then has his whole thing on NXT because just The Rock is just so cool.
He is cool.
So that's my number 1 this week. Wrestling was very, very good this week.
Great week of wrestling.
Yes, very, very fun, very good. Let us know in the comments what you guys thought of this week. But guys, that is it. As always, I'm Frankie.
I'm Chris.
And we are signing out. Peace!